Mr. Morello, do we have any public speakers this morning?
Chairman, we have 18 public speakers signed up. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you observe more or less the 2-minute limit on your public comments. We have a clock here. As the 2 minutes begin to wind down, you'll hear a tone and see the lights flash, and then we'll ask you to wrap up. The first speaker is John Samuelsen. He'll be followed by Murray Bowden.
Good morning, Governor Patterson. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Okay, good morning, members of the board. Governor Patterson, you're on my list to say hello to. Mr. Merdler, Mr. Farrar, good morning, and good morning to the rest of the board. I bring you the best wishes for a wonderful holiday season from 35 New York City transit workers employed by the MTA, our TWU Local 100 members, and your employees. I also bring you a Christmas present from your customers, as you like to call them. We call them our fellow New Yorkers. Today, as you will see, they are also our partners in urging you to recognize the value of your workers by negotiating a fair contract for them. Whether it's blackouts, snowstorms, derailments, or hurricanes, transit workers consistently come in and save the day. January 15th, 2014 will be 2 years that transit workers have come to the job every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year without a contract. It doesn't matter what gets thrown at us. We perform our jobs with pride and professionalism. Yet another example of this is on the front page of the Daily News and the New York Post this morning, another heroic effort by a TWU Local 100 member to save a life in the subway. They also see that you are sitting on top of budget surpluses but claim to have no money for modest raises for transit workers. Transit workers believe that their union's position on this negotiation is fair and reasonable. We also believe that any outside entity taking a look at what the union's demands in this negotiation are fair and reasonable as well. We know that the public supports the position as well, and we can prove it. I have brought with me a large stack of petitions, approximately 30,000 signatures from the riding public addressed to Chairman Prendergast. They say, negotiate a fair contract with New York City transit workers. After their heroic response to Hurricane Sandy and their remarkable efforts in rebuilding the transit system, we believe they should receive a raise that keeps up with the cost of living. We're certainly not looking for the stars. We're looking for raises that keep up with the cost of living. I also bring to you today a message directly from transit workers, employees of the MTA. They have shown great patience throughout this process, but their patience is beginning to wear thin. We struck in 2005. In this contract negotiations, we have tried to save the riding public the anxiety of that type of saber rattling, but the MTA has clearly not reciprocated our good intentions in this contract negotiation. This message from Local 100 members is in the form of a resolution unanimously passed at Saturday's yearly membership meeting. It reads as follows. I will. TWU Local 100's campaign for contract fairness with the MTA. Despite a nearly $2 billion projected budget surplus over the next 4 years, the MTA indefensibly remains glued to their position that transit workers accept a concessionary package based on the state pattern of 3 years and 0 wage increases. Other poison pill demands include part-time bus operators, expansion of opto, broadbanding of the station agent title, privatization of cleaning and maintenance at some stations with a corporate sponsor, and massive increases in out-of-pocket health costs for workers. management's entrenched position seems to indicate that they are determined to push the contract into binding arbitration rather than to bargain fairly for a reasonable settlement. Our 6,500 member rally on October 29th sent a clear message to the MTA that transit workers are seeking a fair negotiated agreement and are willing to stand up and fight for it. We underscore that message today. Therefore, be it resolved that the Local 100 membership gives its full support to the union leadership's continuing efforts to reach a negotiated settlement. That the Local 100 membership absolutely rejects the MTA's indefensible claims of inability to pay for a fair raise for a fair contract for transit workers. That the membership further rejects the MTA's position that any cost of living wage increase be paid for in a dollar-for-dollar swap of concessions in healthcare, work rules, and more. And finally, the union's leadership must inform the membership immediately should the MTA seek impasse as the first step in forcing this agreement to arbitration. And finally, be it resolved that the members gathered at this local-wide membership meeting declare their readiness to take whatever actions are necessary at this point to prevent the imposition of a contract modeled on the so-called state pattern. The membership of Local 100 directs the TWU leadership to make plans for every contingency. Thank you for your attention, and we urge this MTA board to reach out to Local 100 to bargain a fair contract. It can be done. You have the money, and we have the willingness to settle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Murray Bowden. Mayor Josephson, once again, I'll ask everyone to try to observe the 2-minute limit. We have 15 more speakers, including